Hi all, it's Eddie from Wheelie Tropicals, just coming to you with a quick video today of when to stop feeding your tropical plants. I've got two things in my hand here, which is Miracle Grow and Tomorite. I also use, probably more so than these two things to be honest, I use more organic seaweed feed. But today's video is literally just about why we would stop when we do, what months to stop in, and the reasons why we stop feeding our absolutely beautiful exotics all the way around just to set them up for winter. So I'll position myself here. Like I say, it couldn't be on a bit of a more ironic day to be discussing things like winter and things like that. The reason I'm doing it so early is because it's sooner than you think. I stop feeding all of my tropical plants and I just do a bit of a spin around. All of these plants every single year have stopped being fed by the middle of September, and I would probably, in all truth, probably stop doing it by the end of August. So we've got a couple of weeks now. The reason we're doing that is the garden has done fantastic. A lot of the flowers are now coming like spent and stuff like that now. So the things like the dahlias you can see behind me and stuff don't need loads of feed pumping into them. What we're going to get over winter is there's going to be an awful lot of rain, I imagine. We're in the UK, and it's going to leach out a lot of the nutrients. So the more we put in later in the season, the more the plants aren't going to get it anyway, because as the nighttime temperatures hit below 10, most of these will go dormant or stop growing. So then it's just going to leach out all of that money that you spent on feed. If you get anything like mine, it's about 25 quid for 5 litres, and with a garden this size, it doesn't actually go that far. I don't be putting that down. The plant's getting none of that whatsoever. It being leached out, and then I'm having to pay for the exact same thing again. So yeah, so latest of the end of August is what I would do in Birmingham. If you're in different parts of the country where it remains a bit warmer, maybe down south, you maybe get away to the end of September if you wish, but I'm just talking from my experience. I don't want these things, like these bananas, I don't want them to flush again and have young sappy growth. That's then in my area get really high winds are going to batter them and really shred those. They're not going to be hardy at all, so they're more likely to get diseased. They're more likely to get hammered by the weight of the snow and things like that. So the reason I do it, which seems quite early, is I'm trying to set these plants up for the best possible journey through winter, really, because I want these to emerge on the other side looking as good as they can do. So that's my experience as to why I would do that. And I just thought I'd post a video now so we've got time to kind of stop getting those things fed. The only real exception is things like you can see at the back, bamboo. You can feed those because those will grow over autumn and through winter, and it's those rhizomes, the energy they're putting this year, that will go into the culms for next year, and the shoots and the canes and stuff for next year will be based on the rhizomes and stuff and the culm size from now. So feel free to feed those with fish blood and bone or chicken manure pellets and things like that, and you'll get the most out of your bamboos. But I hope that's just a nice quick video just to kind of counteract the other video that I did as to when to start doing the video. You've now got the full picture. Like I said, I'll do a quick spin around the garden just so you can see the garden looks fantastic at this time of year, and I'm not expecting it to do any more now.